exhibits. So I had an idea, sort of like I wanted this almost river type of thing running through the tiger habitat. I knew the Siberian tigers would swim if they had water. I also really wanted a waterfall. I don't know what's going on with my accent today. So I started that process, and it was during creating this habitat that I started to get the idea, like, well, maybe instead of doing the terrain on habitats, like each habitat I would do training for, what if I do like all of the terrain and work the habitats into the terrain? So you'll see that a lot more next week with the Formosan black bears. At least I think it'll be next week, where we suddenly go a little intense with the training. I really wanted, each of my zoos has a different goal, especially still being very much a beginner to this game. I've had it for 7 months now. I mean, I guess it's fairly long at this point, but I haven't really done a whole lot of train. Like I have, but I wanted a reason to practice it, and this zoo is a good reason to practice it. Taigas are not flat lands. They are very generally encompassed by hills and mountains and beautiful snowy peaks. And, while I was looking for inspiration for this zoo, like it was a very, very, I personally feel it's like gorgeous scenery. And when you look at like where the Siberian tigers live, where snow leopards live, where red pandas would live, and all these different animals, like I am trying to make it fairly accurate to what we might find in the wild. And so I was also trying to make the pathing just a little bit different. Like I widened the path there and then split it. And I did what I did similarly to the red pandas, where like it was a circle. And so that seems to be where I've been heading with this zoo, is that each habitat you don't leave the main path to go to a habitat. Like you're gonna go past that habitat, you're gonna see that animal, and it's just a matter of whether or not you go left or right, or something like that. And I was trying to use different types of fences, and I was trying to I still wanted like those observation areas. So I created a little observation area here, and I want to make better habitats. I want to make, these, you can look in at different parts, you can see different parts. I want to make, some natural walls, some fenced walls, some glass walls, and just different things to kind of get that working, right? And I wanted to make the staff areas not look so staffy. Does that make sense? Like I wanted to try and like challenge myself and use different pieces. Like, whose video was it? I was watching somebody else create a video, and I saw them using the construction pieces for their habitat, and I thought that was super cool. So I will say, those logs you saw me use, I have used those, and initially there was no issue with the logs. Like, initially I put them in and I made sure they overlapped and like the animals couldn't escape through them, and then I think there was an update or something, and then I came in and now they can escape through those logs. So you'll notice as we go through some of these exhibits, like, you'll see the logs and then the logs might disappear, or we shall see that we kind of end up having something else with the logs. So like we might put rocks in the logs, or a different type of barrier, or sub it out for the log wall from the building thing, which is kind of sad because I absolutely adore using this kind of system. And I was very careful. Like, I did check it and I made sure like it was not insane. But because the grown-ups had never escaped out of it, and then all of a sudden like they had a baby and the baby was escaping, and I was like, all right, weird, but all right, valid, sure. And it turned into a hot mess with these logs, which I use these logs for everything at one point because I felt like it fit the theme really well, and like I could create such a I could use such a different height variation for it, and like I said, I really enjoyed having them there. But yeah, it's just me creating and creating and creating. There's a lot going on, and then after we get the tigers situated, I go back through and I show you the decorations for the pathing and the educational stuff and the different guest areas and stuff I create around it. I do end up creating like a plaza next to this habitat, but I don't put it in this video. This video is already like almost half an hour long, so I didn't want to put that in there too. So I don't know if I'll put it in its own separate video, or if I'll tag it on to before I do the black bears. I'm not sure. But I will find a way to show you guys that as well. So I was purposefully trying to create an area that the tigers could go up to. I thought it would be really cool if the tigers could utilize the space and climb up there. I thought that would be pretty cool, pretty sweet. So based off of like my mistakes in other habitats where animals have been able to climb up those rocks, I was like, oh yeah, we'll try it. And you can kind of see like, oh no. So I did end up putting the tigers in so I could see where they could escape from and where they could climb, essentially. And I have their little cave. I put those little jetties there to kind of see. So you can kind of see like there's a couple of spaces. It does not help that this video is sped up like 8 times in order to fit it all in. So it was interesting but it didn't really show that they could escape. Like there was a little bit of red, but I did pay attention to where the red was, and I thought it was all fixed, but we shall see. We shall see. So yeah. And we have to go through and make sure we get rid of all of the long grass because no animal likes long grass. I've yet to meet an animal that likes a lot. Well, I'm sure there was one or two that liked long grass. But yeah, it seems like every single animal is just crazy, crazy, no long grass. So then we had to put in some toys, and there were trees for them to scratch, which I thought was pretty cool. Instantly in the water, instantly wanted to swim. And again, similar to the red pandas, I wanted to create climbing frames for them to kind of go over the water, create this little bridge. So that, I'm sure the tigers wouldn't mind swimming, but I had it so that this river was completely cutting through the habitat. So I wanted it to look like, there was some way to do it. So I hope you guys enjoy this build. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.